Hey, I'm Ryan J, and I'm thrilled, both as a film critic and as a fan of all things Oz, to introduce you to the lady who in 1985 played Ozma in Return to Oz, the Walt Disney sequel to The Wizard of Oz. And now, for the first time ever, Ozma goes on the record about the making of Return to Oz in honor of the film's 30th anniversary in 2015. This is Emma Ridley. Emma, thank you so much for taking the time to chat with me today.
Thank you for having me.
30 years.
I can't believe it. It makes me feel really old.
You and me both, right? Now, Return to Oz is actually based on books 2 and 3 that L. Frank Baum wrote in his Oz series, The Marvelous Land of Oz and Ozma of Oz. Did you read either of those books before or during filmmaking?
Later, I read Ozma of Oz, yeah.
What did you think of it?
Great. I mean, they're all fabulous books.
Tell me, as an Oz fan, what did it feel like to be in the Emerald City wearing the ruby slippers?
It's so funny because only now, as you said, this is my only real interview that I've ever done. I'm actually reliving in this moment how spectacular that really was. And to have experienced that at such a young age, what an amazing experience.
Did you ever at any moment just click the heels together 3 times?
Every minute we could. Every moment we could.
That's awesome.
It was the ongoing joke. You know, Fruz would put them on, we'd go, there's no place like that. You know, it was always the ongoing joke. And they had many, many pairs, if you can imagine. The Gnome King wore them, and there was all the ruby slippers, and there was piles and piles in different sizes with different heels and different shapes. And
what we all wouldn't give for a pair of those, right?
I know, and of course they didn't let me keep a pair.
Is it true that you were originally auditioning for the role of Dorothy?
Actually, that's not true. I was always up for just the part of Ozma.
And did you come to the project as already an Oz fan?
I grew up watching The Wizard of Oz, as you know, all children do.
What are some of the things that you love best about it?
I love that she had a best friend in Toto, and that it was a musical.
And at any point during the making of Return to Oz, did you wish that that had been a musical?
Oh yes. You know, Fairuza and I were the only children really on the set. And we were singing and dancing. We need this to be a musical. You know, we were the only brats on set. It was a very interesting energy on the set. It was a very dark energy. I mean, on film sets, there's always a lot of waiting around, and it takes hours and hours to set up a shot. Mm-hmm. So all I remember mostly was everyone trying to hunt down for Fairuza and I, because we'd be running around Elstree Studios, and I think they were filming a James Bond movie at the time. So we'd get lost on the James Bond set, and you know, and they were all frantic. Where are the kids? Where are the kids? And of course, we were supposed to be in the schoolroom upstairs studying, which we were never.
Have you kept in touch with Fairuza?
Periodically, we bumped into each other maybe a couple of years ago.
What was that like? What did you guys chat about?
It was fun. It was an interesting moment because I think we were there for a screening of something, and I don't remember her being as shy as a kid as she was as an adult. And I was kind of, you know, like, Fairuza, we grew up, you know, we got old or whatever. And she still looked young and still stunningly beautiful. And, you know, I think she was a bit overwhelmed by my excitement. I was so excited.
Yeah. And also, did you work with a dialect coach on the film? Because I think she sounds a little American.
Actually, they wanted me to be British.
Okay.
And it's actually Walter Murch's daughter, Beatrice, who dubbed all of my lines.
So that's not your voice?
Not my voice.
You're kidding.
Yeah.
I never knew that.
Wow.
That's remarkable. Is Beatrice American?
Yes.
Or, so that's why Ozma sounds American?
Yes.
Okay.
This is for you. This is for you.
Help me step through the glass, Dorothy.
Help me step through the glass, Dorothy.
What's your name? Ozma.
What's your name? Ozma.
I forgive Mommy. Dorothy has punished her by removing her magical powers. And a witch with no magic is a miserable creature indeed.
I forgive Mommy. Dorothy has punished her by removing her magical powers. And a witch with no magic is a miserable creature indeed.
On one condition. I will look in on you from time to time. And if you ever wish to return to Oz, I will make it so.
On one condition. I will look in on you from time to time, and if you ever wish to return to Oz, I will make it so.
I always thought when I watched Return to Oz that I saw Ozma as someone who seemed kind of serious and mature.
I guess I'm a fabulous actress.
But is
Because
that...
I was never serious and mature, no.
But, you know, like creating the role of Ozma, since you hadn't read the books, how did you come up with who she was as a character?
The only advice I really got was I was her big sister.
Dorothy's big sister.
I was Dorothy's big sister, and I'm actually the youngest of two girls, and it was quite fun for me to put on my big sister role, even though I was always the clown of the family and the youngest and the baby of the family. So maybe the seriousness came out because I was the big sister.
Feeling protective.
Right.
The first shot of you in the film is we see you through a window when Dorothy's meeting with Dr. Worley. And she just sees your reflection and you're just like the pretty blonde girl. What do you remember about filming that scene?
I remember it being a big ordeal because the lights were so bright to get my reflection in TikTok that any little stray hair, cut, we had to retake and retake. It took hours.
And then we next see you when you visit Dorothy in her room and you hand her a...
Pumpkin.
Yes. And do you remember your line?
It's Halloween soon.
Exactly.
Is that right?
Yes, it's one of my favorite lines in the movie. It's so random. It's so great, and I think Dorothy's like, I know. But it's fantastic. And so tell me about that scene.
In that outfit, the dress, I remember it was very itchy and very uncomfortable. And they wanted me to be barefoot. So I'd run around in ballet slippers until it was time to film. They wanted me to be a little nervous and a little shy.
Do you have a specific memory of maybe the most fun you had? Did you guys ever skip down the yellow brick road and sing We're Off to See the Wizard together, or?
No, but the most fun we had was in the hot, muddy jacuzzi, which we named the hot, muddy jacuzzi.
Of course, you're referring to the scene where you're running away from the hospital and you jump into it's a lake or a river to escape from there. I would imagine that was very cold water.
It was a jacuzzi. They made this incredible muddy stream in the soundstage. It was all indoors.
Well, I did all my own stunts. I did every one of my stunts, even when we were doing the water scene in the lake and stuff. The stuntman said, you gotta go for it, and there's people down there, and don't worry, because it's all arranged.
Did you do your own stunts in that scene?
I did not. There was a fabulous lady. She did it 3 times. The third take was it that they kept, and she actually did get stitches in her knee.
Ouch.
Yes, ouch. It was a great fall, and she was brave, and she was smiling all through it, and I remember thinking, you know, because in the beginning I was like, I want to do my own stunts. I want to roll down the mountain, you know, and I was glad that I didn't.
The next time we see Ozma is her reflection on Mombi's mirrors in the Emerald City. Is that actually you that filmed those reflection moments to kind of signal Dorothy where to go?
I do remember coming back after being away for a while to film some different scenes, and my understudy, who was pretty much the same age and with blonde hair, she was only too excited and happy to tell me that she got to put on my dress and she got to spin around while there was lots of people holding the dress in different directions for the shimmery shots through the mirror.
Oh, interesting.
And I remember at the age of 12 being so upset, you know, it's like,
You
hey,
missed out on it.
yeah, like why didn't I get to do that too, you know?
So we next see Ozma at the end of the film,
Help me step through the glass, Dorothy.
and you are stepping through the glass in the Emerald City. It's sort of the climax in the end. And what do you remember about that?
It was a beautiful moment because I do remember as I stepped through the glass, everyone went silent. You know, it was a beautiful experience.
And how did they do that effect where you actually stepped through the mirror?
There was a big wall, and behind the scenes is all completely unglamorous. It was plastic glass, and they put slits in it for my arms, my shoulders, my face, and I literally had to headbutt the glass.
Wow.
And it was like shimmering paper. And I would push my weight through, and then obviously in their post-production, they would make it shimmer with the special effects. They reshot those scenes over and over again. The first set, I was in a gold lace dress. it just blended too much with everything that was gold.
Right.
It was very lacy. It wasn't as princessy. It was more regal. And then, after months of filming and months of editing, they realized that it was completely the wrong color, and I needed to be in a white, green, emerald, feather, more elaborate dress.
Do you have a favorite line from the film?
I have a favorite scene.
What's your favorite scene?
My favorite scene is when I have Bellina under my arm and I'm in the mirror, and I filmed that it was my last scene. It was the very end of the movie, and I was just in a studio all by myself. There was no crew, it was all quiet, everything been finished. And I just, you know, I do remember that. I mean, they had real chickens, and then they had, hi, Dorothy. You know, I mean, Bellina was fabulous. We'd sit and chat and talk to Bellina, even though we knew it was being controlled by someone over there.
It's so cool.
But, you know, it was our best friend.
What would it take to get you to dress as Ozma for Halloween?
I think I do every Halloween. I'm always walking around in a tiara, even going to the supermarket. For Halloween, it's scary enough being who I am, I think, sometimes.
And lastly, what's your favorite movie?
The Wizard of Oz.
Mine too.
I love it.
Emma, thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you
This
for
has been
having
such a
me.
thrill. You're amazing.
Thank you, thank you.
RyanJReviews.com.